Hello, I'm Dhanya Rajendran from the News Minute. Beginning today, we are going to have 2-3 episodes where we will discuss important constituencies in Tamil Nadu, and through these we will talk about the politics of Tamil Nadu, how caste will play an important factor this election, whether there will be a vote transfer as different parties have come together and formed alliances. Joining me in this conversation are two senior journalists, both are political analysts. They have covered many elections in Tamil Nadu, Veera Raghav and Kavitha Muralidharan from Chennai. So the first three constituencies we'll discuss today are Bodinaikanur from the Theni district of Tamil Nadu, then Kovilpatti from Thoothukudi and Ottapidaram also from Thoothukudi. So first we'll go to Bodinaikanur. This is the constituency where we are going to see a fight between O. Paneerselvam, the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, and Thanga Tamilchelvan from the DMK. In this constituency, do you feel there is a caste contradiction and OPS is clearly looking at a Tebar consolidation here? Do you think it will work for him?
Absolutely. The question is whether it's going to work or not. The fact that O. Paneerselvam wants to reach out to a Sashikala, the fact that O. Paneerselvam wants to reiterate that 1 year caste is not going to dominate the AIDMK's politics when it comes to the future, is all a desperate attempt to consolidate the Tevar vote, because the candidate opposed to him is Thanga Tamilchelvan, who's a 3-time MLA, ex-Rajya Sabha MP, 3-time MLA from Andipatti, which is a prestige constituency in the AIDMK. He was a sitting MLA when Jayalalitha passed away, one of those who went out with TTV Dinakaran. So definitely there is a chance of the Tevar vote being split. And given the kind of contradiction that one has seen within the AIDMK in terms of, the ally BJP and the AIDMK at one time trying to reach out to the, with the DKV formula, hoping to reach out to the scheduled caste vote and the Dalit votes in southern Tamil Nadu. And at the other time, the AIDMK coming out and reiterating its Tevar identity by renaming the Madurai airport behind Pasumpon Muthuramalinga Tevar. These are indications that there is some kind of grassroots friction that exists in this alliance in terms of its caste contradictions in southern Tamil Nadu. And it gets pronounced in a constituency like Bodinaikanur when there is a potential split in the Tevar vote.
Kavitha, the statements by O. Paneerselvam, especially about the 1 year quota, does that actually betray some sort of nervousness from him? And like Veera Raghav was saying, do you think the AIDMK can actually, will the AIDMK see some sort of a Tevar consolidation, or that's just a dream that they'll have to forget now?
I think where Veera Raghav was right in terms of how the 1 year quota is leading to a counter consolidation of other MBC oaths. So in this case, it's Piralmalai Kallar, they were in Bodinaikanur, which is going to definitely not do well for the for O. Paneerselvam. So I think it's also that's why OPS keeps talking about why 1 year quota is not a permanent aspect. He has told interviews that it's not a permanent aspect. So I think it's going to backlash. Also, Thanga Tamilchelvan is a very, very strong candidate. And he did very well in terms of polling of votes. He did very well in the last election too, in the Lok Sabha election. So it is going to be a tough fight for OPS. But today, Junior Vigadan has predicted a win for him, especially because there might be some cash distribution in the last few days. That's the reason that that this Junior Vigadan survey today says. But I think it's going to Thanga Tamilchelvan is giving an equally tough fight, and it's going to be very problematic for OPS in this constituency.
So we'll now go to this Ottapidaram constituency. Now why this is interesting is because we are seeing P. Krishnaswamy from the Pudhiya Tamizhagam contest from here. Now there are two gambles which the AIDMK has taken. One is the 1 year quota, and the second is the bringing together the Pallar subsects under one umbrella. How do you think this is going to play out for Pudhiya Tamizhagam and also for the AIDMK in general, these two decisions?
I think what it reflects is the lack of clear leadership in the AIDMK, and when I want to put that question across to Kavitha as well. The fact that when you had a very strong leader, then the subsections within, the different caste sections within could not put their demands up, and sort of, the leadership didn't have to cater to every caste section. I think with the DKV move, there was a misunderstanding. It showed that the BJP did not have grassroots understanding of Tamil Nadu. They wanted to replicate a UP experiment and try and consolidate the Dalits, which wasn't going to happen, given that the Dravidian movement, and historically you've had strong Dalit leaderships, whether it is coming within the Pallars, Parayars or the Arundhatiyars. You've had a very strong local leadership that have come up. And there was a miscalculation, and I think there is confusion within the AIDMK on how to go about it, which is why I would believe that as soon as this move is announced, then suddenly you have the renaming of the Madurai airport and other issues that come up. Each subsect within the AIDMK is insecure and wanting to reiterate its identity to the grassroots electorate. But at this level, to have a kind of a contradiction that's coming in without having that one leader who rises above the caste that exist, I think that's really the challenge the AIDMK is facing.
Kavita, how do you look at the fight in this constituency? Would a win for Krishnaswamy in this constituency, because last time also he lost for very few votes, would a win for Krishnaswamy in this constituency also tell you how successful this whole new formula has been of bringing these subsects together, that the BJP and the AIDMK agreed to this long-standing demand?
Okay, but what Krishnaswamy essentially says is they should be removed from the scheduled list. That's his demand, and
which has not been taken
It
care
has not been done. So all the seven castes have been grouped together as Devendra Kula Velalars, which is also finding backlash with other Velalar communities who call themselves as Velalar, because they claim like if we are also Velalars, how could you call a Dalit group as Velalar? So there is some kind of a backlash for this move too, and in this case Krishnaswamy is not very happy with what had happened, because his demand is to move Devendra Kula Velalars away from the schedule list. Whether the entire community supports it or not, we are not sure. Many people that I spoke to say that the entire community is not in support of this demand because it's going to deprive them of the reservation. But if the BJP and ADMK might try to take credit for this move, and whether it's going to help them, we'll see that in the election. For Krishnaswamy, I think it's going to be a issue of prestige. He wants to kind of assert his leadership, assert his identity, and he'll take it personally. That's my guess. Yeah.
So whether it's the one-year quota or the bringing together of all the castes under the DKV banner, we do not know what kind of political output it will have. Finally, we'll go to Kovilpatti. This is from where TTV Dinakaran is contesting. Kovilpatti is not the constituency from where he was expected to contest. People thought he may be from some place in Theni, but he's gone to Kovilpatti because he's got local leadership with him and they've already won a panchayat. How much, and TTV in all his campaigns, all his press briefings has been talking that the AIDMK has betrayed the interests of Tevas and Gounders, especially Tevas. That's been his ground. How do you look at TTV's politics and his candidature from Kovilpatti?
I think TTV is a proxy for Sashikala, right? TTV is a proxy for Sashikala, or maybe Sashikala is a proxy for TTV. I don't know which one is true. We will know that eventually when the power struggle shapes up and the one who comes out in front, or the one who's actually going to lead. But the point is that I think the calculation that the AIDMK had, that they will be able to bulldoze and keep the TTV Dinakaran and Sashikala's away and not split the vote, is not working out. I think he's proving to be an element in these elections. How powerful an element, we don't know. But I think this is an indication that post these elections, TTV Dinakaran and Sashikala will make a bid. If the AIDMK does not do well in these elections, if it loses, they will make a bid for leadership of the party. And that's the indication you take. He is a factor at the grassroots.
Kavita, V.Raghav says TTV Dinakaran is definitely a factor this election. How much of the votes do you think TTV will walk away with, whether it's an anti-incumbency vote or even caste votes like the Tevars?
In South, I think if you look at all the opinion polls, especially the Tandi TV and Junior Ibn, in South, he is going to make a dent into ADMK votes. And I think it could be because of caste. I don't see anti-incumbency as a reason, but caste, and also the fact that some of the ADMK long-term loyalists could side with them for this election. So those two could be major reasons. Anti-incumbency ideally should go to, if we speak about anti-incumbency, it should go to the DMK or the opposition party, not to Dinakaran. But yes, Kovilpatti, if the ADMK, which has a sitting minister contesting there, if it loses, it will be because of Dinakaran. I don't know if he's going to win. He's also trying his best to win. I am not sure what the outcome is, but if the ADMK loses it, it's going to be hugely because of Dinakaran. And as V.Raghav says, I agree that Dinakaran sees this election as an opportunity to kind of get ADMK back into his fold. And after the elections, if the ADMK fares very poorly, Sashikala and Dinakaran are going to take that step.
Shashikala and Dinakaran will want to take the AIDMK back if the party does not do well this election. Thank you, V. Raghav and Kavita. So many calculations, many caste mathematics by all the parties, especially by the AIDMK. But will all these caste and community groups vote as a homogeneous group? That's not known yet. So will TTV Dinakaran win in Kovilpatti? Will O Paneerselvam win over all the Tevars, at least in his constituency and nearby? All that remains to be seen. Stay tuned for the next episode where we will be talking about more constituencies.